Alright, in order to draft a collar for the shirt we have been modifying, we need to get a measurement of our neck edge. Now we did already put seam allowance on here, so what we will need to be measuring is the seam line on the neck edges here. Now whether you want to draft it by hand, like what the book would indicate to you, or if you want to use what the program included as collar styles. Either way, you still need to know what that neck measurement is. So let's zoom in and take some measurements here. I'm going to zoom in on the back neckline first. And to do the measurement, go to your points menu, go to set measure distance, select the neck shoulder point. I click it, it's in red. I right click, point selected. Now the blue command line down below tells me the next one I need to select is the second one. There we go. Done selecting. Now it highlights in red to double check, is that the edge or the seam line that I want measured? Yes, it is. And it's going to tell me that the back is 2.85 inches. Click OK. We've got it. Now I'm going to use my keyboard arrows to pan over to the neck, front neck. Now on this one, we're going to take two measurements. We're going to need the neck edge to center front. That way if you want to do a collar pattern, well, we're going to need that measurement and then the measurement for the extension. So let's do our first one. We haven't changed our command tool, so we're still in the distance measuring. Single click on the left mouse to set the first point, right click to tell that you have selected the one you want, left click for the second point, right click to say done selecting. It's asking again to indicate that is the segment you want measured. Yes, it is. And that is 4.41. All right. We click OK. And then I need to measure what my extension is. So I'm still in the same command. I'm going to click my first one with the left mouse, right click that I have done with that, left click to indicate my second point, right click to tell the computer I'm done selecting. Yes, that is the segment I want measured, and it is 0.51. So I'm jotting this down on a piece of paper next to my computer. My extension is 0.51. My front and back neck edge are a certain distance. I'm going to add those two together. So yours will probably be slightly different if you use different measurements, because I use my personal ones. So my front and back together came out to be 7.26. Now that's for half of the shirt, from center back to center front. I do believe I will need to multiply that, so I'm doing my math over here, and then we'll get ready to go over and open up the collar. So just a moment, I don't have my calculator out. Alright, so I got my full neckline distance. I'm going to push my end button on my keyboard to move all my pattern pieces out, and I'm actually going to pan over a little bit, leaving my space right here open. And at that point, I'm going to go ahead and save this file, and I'm going to click open to open the other one. This pattern program will close down one pattern when we get ready to open another one. I need to go to my shared files. I also need to go up one to the designers, Lena Free Stuff, and if you're not seeing it, change your format or your file type to Mac and interchangeable collars. There we go. And we have a couple different options here. I'm going to click open. And this is where we can select whichever ones we want. Notice this one has a stand and then a shirt collar. The mock shirt collar will not have a seam up here between the collar and the stand. I don't suggest those. They'd never stand up great against the neck. So the shirt collar, their version of the convertible collar still has a stand. The blouse collar does not have a stand. So notice it comes here to center front and stops. You could choose that one or shirt collar. I would go with either one of those. I will demonstrate with the shirt collar. Go ahead and click Next. And now it wants to know what kind of points you want on it, pointed or rounded. I'm going to go ahead and stick with my pointed version and click Done. Now at this point it's asking me what my garment neck circumference is. The garment, so that's why we had to measure our stitch line. So I am going to type in my measurement that I came up with, and this is the entire measurement. So you have to take front and back, add them together, then multiply by 2 because that was only half the neck. My button extension is actually going to be 0.51, and we can go ahead and have it put the seam allowance on at this point, since we already had put the seam allowance on our modified shirt patterns, and the ones that we had done last week and put on was a ½ inch, so 0.5 on there, and I'm going to click OK. And this drew it for us. Now I don't know exactly how perfect it is just yet, but I plan to print this out and make it up in a muslin just to kind of see what it works out to be and how I like it. Alright, I have a notch down here that I'm not too crazy about, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it for now. Doesn't mean I actually have to transfer it to my fabric, but I am going to go ahead and leave it on here. And then this did come with seam allowance all the way around, but it does indicate on here that if I'm going to cut it on the fold to remove that seam allowance down center back, we're going to leave that on. Now, go ahead and save this. We're going to save, I'm going to call it my, not blouse collar pattern I was practicing last night, I'm going to call it my shirt collar pattern. Okay. Now I want to merge that with the other one. So where did I find this? File, merge, and I want to find it in mine. I'm going to go to, I think this was the one we were working with here. Second demo pattern. If not, I'll open and merge with another. Nope, and actually you cannot undo a merge. So I'm actually going to go ahead and open my, I'm not going to save these changes, I'm going to open my shirt collar pattern. And now again I'm going to try this merge, make sure I get the proper one here, my demo shirt pattern, and click open. There we go, I got it. It's still put it way down here, but what we can do is move those. So I will select that and that. Right click, I'm done selecting. Then I single click to set my base point and move up from there. Actually, I'm going to swing it back over here and put it with my right underneath the sleeve because there was good space there. Click the end button, that way I put everything out into opening here. Now, if I were to want to draft my collar pattern much like the book, zoom on in over here, just so I have some drawing space, I would start off probably with the rectangle, single click to put my first point. Then in the book, usually it has us do the neck or the collar at 3 inches wide. So I'm trying to think because I'm not going from 0.0. Actually, you know what? I am going to save this part for a second video. That way I can practice it before I do that. So let me jump right back here, go to, and everything's on the screen. Got the collar in over here. Oops, I was thinking I'm still wanting to draw my rectangle. I'm going to undo that. There we go. We've got everything in place. I'm going to go ahead and save this demo shirt. Oh, I saved this now as my shirt collar pattern. I'll go ahead and leave that right now. It is the whole pattern though: sleeve, back, front, collar stand, and collar. And it'll be interesting to print this out and make it up. That's all for now, and we'll save the making the facings and a pocket. We'll draft a pocket in our next one as well.